What's going on, guys? Just doing a quick little thoughts on the Paramilitray 2 and comparing it to my other knives as far as like my cold steel knives, my CRKTs. Uh, Being that I am new to Spyderco, these are the fourth Spyderco knife, fourth and third that I've ever owned. The number one knife that I ever drew was the Dragonfly, and the number two was the all black Paramilitary 2, and then I have these two that I just recently picked up. My thoughts on this, which I thought, there's a lot of videos on YouTube of these knives, and nobody really brought it to the attention of the fact that, and I always thought that was cool about this particular knife, when you look at this knife and you get the Paramilitary 2 with the digital camo, and I thought this was kind of interesting because they're kind of unique. Each piece is unique because the digital camo pattern is different on every single one. So you'll never see two of the same. I mean, there might be two of the same out there, but it's going to be very rare the way the pattern's laid out, that each person has their own unique knife because of the way the pattern's laid. So I thought that was kind of interesting about the digital camo, which kind of, if you will, make this your own little personal custom knife, because you're probably never going to find two with the same pattern, which is kind of cool about the digital camo. So that's kind of what turned me on to this particular pattern. I thought that was kind of unique. But as far as my thoughts on the knife, and I'm more of a CRKT, as I said, or a cold steel person, in getting into the Spydercos now, I can really see that they're an excellent built knife, and they're just easy to deploy, real smooth to use, and I haven't had any of like the Delicas or the Tenacious or the Matrix. I've looked at them as far as checked them out, but never really leaped for it. What really drew me to this knife was the lanyard hole, the oversized lanyard hole, and all the improvements with that they did to this knife. That's what kind of drew me into actually picking it up. And when I finally actually saw one in person and just saw how easy it was to, I mean, it's ridiculous how easy this knife is to deploy. You can just hold this down and flick it open and close it, or you can flick it with your index. I mean, it's just ridiculous how quick this knife deploys and goes away. It's insane. It's I just, for not being an automatic knife and how quick this thing comes out, is pretty cool. So just my thoughts on the Paramilitary 2. I'm not going to give specs because there's like 50 people out there that give specs and can tell you everything about this knife. I'm not one of those guys that, I mean, I care about, I think when it comes to a knife, I do care about the size of the blade. I would like it to be a longer blade, and I would like it to be light, but I do want a knife that's solid too. So I do like a heavy knife. I'm a person that likes I like whatever I have to have some oomph to it too, but it is nice to have lightness as well. But yeah, so I don't do much on the specs. As far as, I do know that it's G10, and I do know that the steel is SV30, but as far as the blade length and the length of the handle, I'm really not going to give those specs. Anybody can look on the website and get that information. But as far as the actual knife and my impressions of it, I think it's awesome. It's an awesome knife. It's worth it. So if you haven't gotten one, pick one up. They are well worth it. So take it easy, guys.